Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, we'll hear what educators expect from state lawmakers in the upcoming session. Also tonight, learn about a naturalist certification program. And we'll see how the concept of farm to table is being taken to a new level. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Eight, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. This week we've been hearing from advocates for a variety of issues on what they hope to see from the legislature in the upcoming session. Now we've heard from business and environmental interests. Tonight, education. And joining us now is Tim Ogle, Executive Director of the Arizona School Boards Association, Dick Foreman, President and CEO of the Arizona Business and Education Coalition, and Jennifer Laredo, lobbyist for the Arizona Education Association. Good to have you all here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
All right, let's get a good. Tim, we'll start with you. What do Arizona schools need from the legislature to succeed?
Ted, the first thing obviously is resolution of the inflation funding lawsuit, the Prop 301 lawsuit that is overriding virtually every education issue, because we are now at the precipice of having half of Arizona's K-12 students who have attended a fully funded classroom as a result of the cuts from '09 that have never been restored through inflation funding. So that's a crisis that overrides all other education issues.
Should there be a deal worked out to get some sort of a result and solution? I know deals have been talked about in the past.
Yes.
Are you ready for that kind of a thing?
The plaintiffs offered, the plaintiff partnerships, of which AEA is one, and the school business officials and my organization, ASBA. We did have a deal that we tried to pitch to legislative leaders last summer, but we were told it was a non-starter. We're hearing actually some very positive signals from the Ducey administration on perhaps some movement towards a resolution. So fingers crossed that we can get that done.
As far as succeeding, Arizona schools, what do they need, and specifically from the governor and the legislature?
Well, ABEC comes from both a business and education perspective. We try to bring this great community of Arizona together from a business and education perspective. And I would say what we have our arms around right now, which we would like to really see our legislature get their arms around, is make sure we do not retreat on high expectations for our graduates, great standards for Arizona students to achieve, great assessments, and that those assessments be properly funded.
What would you define as a retreat?
A retreat would be, and I haven't seen indications of a retreat in the statements that have been made thus far, but we certainly wouldn't want to see that all the work that has gone into presenting the current college and career readiness standards to be somehow emaciated or start from scratch. I don't think anybody believes that's a good path to take, including the new superintendent, and we're very hopeful that we're on the right track to bring Arizona students and the families some of the greatest achievement standards in the country.
Jennifer, what about the legislature and the governor? What can they do to help students and schools achieve?
You know, probably one of the top things we could do is make sure our schools have the resources necessary to attract and retain our teachers. Having a teacher shortage out there, having a crisis of teachers leaving, we're losing about 50% of our teachers within the first 3 to 5 years because they can go make more money, have less stress going to work for a bank or in any other business, and we need to keep them in education. So I think what we can do is put some resources through the inflation lawsuit, give resources to schools so that they can actually retract and retain high quality professionals, and that's huge. I think a highly qualified teacher in front of a classroom is the single biggest indicator of a student's success.
I know a lot of people say you can't throw money at education or anything. They don't like to see it. They don't want to talk about it. However, is money for education right now going where it needs to go?
You know, people often say you can't throw money at a problem. I don't think we have ever thrown money at public education the way we need to in Arizona. We've never invested in it. And anything that we have where we forced the hands of the legislature has been because the voters of Arizona tried to put more money into education. And I have faith that we're going to get some resolution on this lawsuit so we can get money into the hands of the schools. But I really do think there's going to take a need for business community and the education community to step up and probably put something to the voters in 2016 or 2018 to truly invest in our public schools.
Do you think Arizona schools are adequately financed?
That's not a loaded question, I take. Adequate is always a discussion. I would look at education funding as there is a great commitment, a great pie of money that goes to public education. And the first thing we can do is make sure that pie is going to the classroom as much as possible. I think if you talk to anybody, any policymaker on the right or the left of the political spectrum, they would all agree they would like more of that pie to go to the classroom side. And the Auditor General's report for the last 5 years shows an erosion of that commitment. If there's one thing we can do as a starting point outside of the definition or the argument about adequacy, is increase classroom funding by taking the precious resources we have, figuring out how we're going to reallocate them to reduce some of the administrative overheads that aren't necessarily the fault of bureaucrats or some of these misnomers are out there. These are factors of inflation, the cost of operating and maintaining schools, security, cost of food, nutrition, energy. These are things that are going up, up, up. Meanwhile, the classroom spending is taking a hit. Those are some immediate responses we can take that are very positive.
Should the finance, please.
Well, in addition to what my two counterparts have said, with that, all of those factors being said, the Auditor General report also shows that we have one of the lowest percentages of money being spent on administration in the entire country.
With that in mind.
Compared to the 50 states.
So with that in mind,
compared to the other 49 states.
It sounds like there's some agreement, at least for most of us or most people sitting here, that the more money could be used, but it's got to be sent in the right direction. Should the school finance formula, does that need to be changed?
The finance formula would work effectively if it was supported. There is a lot of chatter in political circles about redoing the finance formula, and in some cases that's code for let's follow our own ideology. But nonetheless, it's not, the formula isn't the problem. The political will to fund it is.
So, and Ted, to that point, I mean, I think one of the things that is not well known probably to the public is what's happened on the capital side of funding for schools, because the legislature has effectively taken any capital dollars that it's given to schools and completely removed it. So money that schools need to either maintain or to build, they're having to go to voters and beg for bonds or overrides. And if they aren't able to get those passed, they're having to take it within their budgets to make those necessary, basic upkeeps of a new air conditioning unit, a new roof, et cetera. And that's causing a huge drain on money that could go into the classroom.
School choice, voucher plans, those sorts of things. We'll be hearing about them from the legislature. Your thoughts?
Most people would argue, and I think successfully, we have the greatest choice of any state in the country. And we still find somewhere around 87% of parents choosing their traditional public school. So as long as we understand that choice means true choice, that we're not forcing parents to make a choice, we're not forcing educators to encourage one choice over another, I think we have expanded choice. We have open enrollment. We've made a lot of progress compared to other states in terms of giving parents choice. And there's some things we should still be looking at. But I would be concerned if we started trying to force a choice where it is not even requested.
The governor says he wants equal access to great schools. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
Oh, no one could be against that. And as Dick just told us, 87% of Arizona parents think their quality school is right down the street at their neighborhood K-12 school. So I think one of the basic roles of government, Dick, Ted, is to make sure that that local neighborhood school is of very high quality. That's what we all want, and that's what our citizens are demanding from us.
So instead of equal access to great schools, equal resources to all schools?
Make all of our school, provide the avenues for all schools to be effective. That's what we really, I think, all believe in.
And provide the support that makes every school the opportunity to be great, which I think we would all heartily endorse.
And we know how to do it.
Do we know how to do it? Is it viable?
I think one thing we got to go back when we talk about school choice, a lot of times we fail to look at the fact that in Arizona we put a lot of requirements and responsibilities on our public schools, yet a lot of times policymakers try to talk about moving money to private education and parochial education, but there's no accountability, no standards, no assessments in place that they have to meet the way a traditional public school has to meet. And I think that's something, if this governor is going to push, really needs to look at, is that the great public school? I mean, is that a great school, just like our neighborhood great public schools are, because we at least know what standards and accountability those schools are under.
As far as public money is being given to private schools, your thoughts on that? It seems to be a direction the legislature is moving toward. Thoughts?
Candidly, it's not a level playing field. We have corporate tax credits that provide unlimited applicability to those contributions to private schools that do not in kind offer the same thing to public schools. I would like to see the whole system looked at holistically, Ted, so that we can take the generosity of corporations, the generosity of parents, the generosity of people, and if you want to make a contribution, let's make that money equally usable for all academic achievement models, not just extracurricular on one side and anything you want to do on the other. So it's really not an apples to apples situation.
Very quickly, what needs to be done to make Arizona, when people think of Arizona, they think of cactus, they think of sunshine, tourism, and golf. What needs to be done for folks to say, that's a pretty good education state?
To make it a great education state, I think you need to make it attractive for businesses to want to relocate here because we've got a great neighborhood public schools. And I will tell you, you can make the tax rate 0% in the state of Arizona. If you do not have a good public school, businesses are not going to want to come. I think that we need to give our schools the resources so they can be competitive with other states when it comes to what they offer in terms of services and programs for the students that they serve.
Very quickly, how does Arizona become the education state?
As a former teacher, principal, and superintendent, I would say that great schools are made up of dedicated teachers, involved parents, and strong leadership, and we need to provide the avenue for all three of those to thrive in the same environment.
All right, very good. Good to have you all here. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Ted.
having
Thank
us.
you, Ted.
The Highlands Center for Natural History is offering a certification program for those looking to learn more about the natural wonders of these central Arizona highlands. Here to tell us more is Tom Benson, naturalist and board president of the Highlands Center for Natural History. It's good to have you here.
Yes, I'm glad to be here, and I certainly enjoyed your previous session. That was very interesting.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Let's talk to you, though, about
Yes.
the Highlands Center for Natural History. What is that?
Okay, it's the Highlands. Let me first talk about Arizona in general. When you think of Arizona, we have three major regions. We have the Colorado Plateau, we have the Sonoran Desert, and what geologists call is that transition zone, which is that area between the Colorado Plateau and the desert, which we call the Central Arizona Highlands, hence our name, the Highlands Center. And you have the Northern Arizona Museum, you have the Sonoran Desert Museum, and we now have the Highlands Center.
And as far as the certification program, before we even get there, what is a naturalist?
That's a very good question. It's not somebody that runs around in the morning dew, as you might think.
Well, no.
No, what I describe a naturalist as doing three things. First of all, they love the outdoors. And they love to study the outdoors and how it's connected, all of the biology and the geology of the outdoors. But secondly, because they love it so much, they like to share it with other people. So we like to pass it on, what we know, and get them inspired to do the same thing. And finally, we would encourage people to protect the natural environment as well.
And so the certification program basically focuses, I guess, on the history of the Central Arizona Highlands. And
Exactly.
gets, for those, would you go out there and chase critters around? What do you do?
Okay, yeah. Well, first of all, let me explain that when you think about the Central Arizona region, You got species that live up in the plateau that will come down into our area, but they won't go down into the desert. And you have species that live in the desert that'll come up into our area, but they won't go up the plateau.
Sure.
So we've got this tremendous diversity of plants and animals, and so it's exciting to be able to study and become part of that. But what a naturalist does is simply hopes to, when we lead walks, to get people to discover what some of these wonderful diversity plants and animal species are. We're not a zoo. We don't have any cages. So what you see is what lives there. That's their habitat. And if you see something, it's because you've stumbled upon their habitat.
So we're talking classes, field trips, those
Yeah,
sorts of things?
Exactly. We have a certification program that starts in February, which happens to be fully subscribed to for this year. But there's a series of 8 sessions, and people can still sign up for those. There are 8 very interesting sessions on life zones, ethnobotany, in fact, one that I'm going to take for sure is by Linda Ogo from the Yavapai tribe, talking about what the tribe used for food and how they survived up in that. And I've heard her talk before, and she's absolutely fascinating. So it's all of the ologies, biology, entomology,
Yes.
that sort of thing that we study in that science series. And anybody can sign up for that. And there's the whole series is $145. If you want to just take one session, it's $22.
And again, if they can get more information at highlandcenter.org, that's the website? And so-
Exactly.
Okay, so the certification program is pretty much locked up for this year, but
Yeah.
you could probably take some of these things that they can find out at highlandcenter.org and figure out maybe you do want to sign up the next go round.
Exactly. And what we do as part of the certification, by the way, is in addition to this science series that goes on, then we start teaching our naturalists how to, the specifics about these areas, the specifics about the trail, the specifics about the geology for that particular area. And we try to teach more by discovery than by talking heads, so to speak.
I'll bet. When you have students in the certification program or any of the things that you offer, what surprises them most? What do you hear from them?
Well, one of the things that doesn't surprise me, but because I've done it enough, but I lead walks for people that are blind. I lead walks for people that are recovering addicts. I just did this one this morning. It was wonderful to watch. Old people, veterans, for example, in wheelchairs. Everybody, when you get them out in the outdoor world, they come away feeling a little better about things and about themselves as well. So that's something that makes it gratifying for me as well as for the person itself. Take a group of second graders, out in the outdoors, and just let them find those little sow bugs or tarantulas, and it's just fun and gratifying to do.
And again, the Highland Center does a lot of work with schools, I would imagine.
Yes, we do.
And these folks, for the certification program specifically, when they're done, what kind of reaction do you get? Did they say that I didn't expect this, that, or the other?
Well, first of all, you can imagine what it's like when you get people that have the same interests and everything. You get this group together. We build on each other, and we're never done. We're constantly learning from each other as well as outside sources. So it's just fun.
And there are guides, again, as far as the teaching is concerned, these are folks that will wind up guiding and leading. But as far as the classes are concerned, you can do some self-guided tours and those sorts of things?
Yes, we have self-guided tours. And by the way, I should have mentioned this. The Highland Center is a nonprofit organization. We get no government support. All of the funds that we get for running the Highland Center are through private donations and memberships, which is kind of refreshing because a lot of people coming on your show are always trying to figure out how they can get some money. I'm sure you would appreciate that, but we are not. And we also are non-political. We don't. We'll have forums and so forth on key issues and make sure that everybody gets heard, because our basic thinking is that if we can get people to understand the issues, then they'll make the right decisions.
Well,
So,
good luck on the program. Congratulations on the success of the Highland Center, and thank you so much for joining us.
well, it was just a pleasure to be here. And I hope
Thank
we
you.
come back. Okay.
And tonight's look at Arizona sustainability focuses on the farm to table movement, which calls for a closer connection between small farmers and hungry consumers. An organization called Outstanding in the Field is taking the farm to table concept to a new level. Producer Shauna Fisher and photographer Gabe Rodriguez take us to a dinner full of sustenance and sustainability.
In the middle of a Gilbert community sits the farm at Agritopia. Owned by the Johnston family, it's home to 16 acres of organically grown vegetables and heirloom grains, grains first harvested thousands of years ago. Head farmer Eric Schultz is only too happy to share his passion of farming.
On the farm, we're pretty diversified in what we grow and raise.
On this warm and inviting October evening, the fruits of Eric's labor will be center stage thanks to a national organization called Outstanding in the Field.
We refer to it sometimes as a culinary circus, which it feels very much like that at moments. But the idea of the company is to connect people to the source of their food, to highlight the farmers and bring people to the farm, to the direct place where what they're eating has been grown.
Created in 1999, Outstanding in the Field is the food child of chef Jim Denovan. Outstanding in the Field handpicks each farm, and then the farm selects a local chef to create a menu using the farm's output. On this day, it's up to F&B's chef, Charlene Badman, to take 90 diners on a culinary journey that defines farm to table. Badman is known for her wizardry with vegetables. Her business partner, Pavle Milic, says it can be challenging to prepare a meal outside of the restaurant, but it's also inspiring.
The fact that we could actually look at someone in the eye that grew our vegetables, that grew the lamb, that grew the chickens. And it's a great way to reconnect, which is really why Outstanding in the Field started to begin with, was to bring attention to the connection between the land, the farmer, and the restaurant.
The farm-to-table adventure begins with a cocktail hour featuring local wines and beers, as well as hors d'oeuvres made with the farm's produce and livestock. Then it's off for a tour of the farm. Outstanding in the Field's tour manager, Eden Riley, says this step is crucial in showing people the relevance of smaller farms.
I think that it's important because without these smaller farms, we're not able to eat great food. I think that the food system in America has gotten so far from what it should be. Also with like the pressing environmental issues of our day, with climate change, so much of our food system is based on shipping, whether it's like by semi-truck or flights. So if you're eating, a strawberry that was grown in Peru in the middle of December, there's a huge carbon footprint on that.
The tour ends inside the orchard, where guests are led to an enchanting scene, an 80-foot-long farm table set with white linen and crystal glasses. Keeping with a tradition Jim started years ago with the first dinner, guests are asked to bring their own plates.
People sit down and this is my great-grandmother's plate, this is my wedding china. I bought this at a thrift store, but I really liked it. So it's just, I think it's something for the guests to feel like they're involved and they're not just like, sitting down to like the same old kind of stuffy experience. It's just something unique.
The food is served family style on platters. Joni Simon, who hosts a popular food podcast and blog in Phoenix, relishes opportunities like this one.
I would say it's really helping somebody to understand when food is on your plate where it comes from, that food doesn't just show up in a restaurant, doesn't just show up at a grocery store, there's a story behind it.
The story Chef Badman is telling tonight includes various salads made with carrots, pickled cucumbers, and wheat berries, and locally produced goat cheese. The main course is Agritopia's chicken and lamb, both grilled for a one-of-a-kind soft taco creation.
It's very simple food, but at the same time, not simple at all, because what she's able to do with it, I swear she's got like a magic wand or something. You never knew cucumbers could be so delicious.
Because after all, the concept of breaking bread, whether with family, friends, or strangers who quickly become friends, is kind of magical.
Our belief, especially in the restaurant business, once you bring together people, food and wine has this alluring, romantic ability to put everyone at the same playing level. And it becomes about the last ritual that we have as human beings, to break bread with each other, to create our own conviviality with another human being. And what better venue than with food and wine?
To learn more about Outstanding in the Field's 2015 schedule, just head to their website, outstandinginthefield.com. Thursday on Arizona Horizon, President Obama will be in town to talk about housing. We'll take a look at the president's proposals, and we'll learn about a program produced by ASU journalism students on the dangers of heroin. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thanks for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.